Cody, I came up with your new Top 100 Games theme song.
Oh, great, let's hear it.
All right, here it goes. Some people think that it would be lame sitting around reviewing games. Cody does that and ain't it a shame? Now my friends, it's time for Cody's Top 100 Games. What do you think?
I don't like it.
Ah, he likes it!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that is to the board gaming community what Captain Phasma was to the First Order in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Insignificant. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and continue with my top 100 games of all time as of August 2016. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at my numbers 30 through 21. All right, starting at number 30. This is a game that, again, I used to play a lot a while ago, but it's a game that I want to play it again because it's a good, solid Civil War game. Again, this is one I talked about in a previous list. I talked about A House Divided from Mayfair Games, which is a great Civil War game. This one I like better because it's got the minis instead of the chits, and this is a game that I used to play this a lot. I worked at a theater, and literally I was just answering phones. I had a lot of time to kill. This is 15 years ago, and Sean would, like, on his job, he'd like get off early. He'd come into the theater, and we'd just sit there in the lobby playing this game for a few hours every now and then. It was so much fun. This is the American Civil War from Eagle Games. Now Eagle Griffin, it was Eagle Games. But the American Civil War is a tremendous game that has both the kind of grand strategic board of the United States, the Eastern United States, where you're moving your armies and preparing for battle. But then you would also have a battle board that had, the three different sections of the line, and you had to hold the line. Really a lot of fun. Very, very historical, very evocative of the period. A good kind of medium to light war game. And loved it a lot. That is the American Civil War, my number 30. It was my number 34 from Eagle Games. My number 29, again, I'm going to lump a bunch of games in together. A family of games in together. And this is really a fun kind of horror-themed game, a zombie game. This is Zombicide. Now, Zombicide is my 29. It was my 24. This is a tremendous game of just the horde is coming, and you got to kill as many of them as you can. But every time you kill them, you make them stronger. But you get stronger too, and you get different abilities and actions as the game progresses. This is a game where you just kill or be killed, but it's also fun. What I like about it is cooperative, and there's negotiation with the other players. Okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to solve this problem? How are we going to make this puzzle work? I really like it, and I have to tell you, just recently I played for the first time, and I played it several times now, the Black Plague version of Zombicide. Now, Zombicide Black Plague is the same game fundamentally, but it takes place in medieval times. There's some new and fun minis, but there's also some really great new rules. So I'm prepared to say right now that Zombicide Black Plague is now my favorite incarnation of Zombicide. I truly, truly love it, and it's just a great game. So that is Zombicide and Zombicide Black Plague. That's my number 29. It was my 24. That is from Cool Mini or Not. My number 28 is a game I played for the first time a couple of years ago. And Kevin, who is on the show from time to time, he introduced it to me. We were in a play together, and he was telling me about this game. I thought it sounded awesome. We finally got together and played it, and it is. This is Origins of World War II. Now, this game was originally printed in the 1970s, and my copy, I think, is one of those original productions of it. I got a used copy. I saw Kevin's, and I had to get one. It's a game that really is in need of a reprint and an updating. But essentially it's a game where you are Britain, France, Germany, the Soviet Union, and the United States, and you're trying to compete for political, diplomatic influence in all these different countries and regions throughout Europe. And it's not a war game, it's leading up to the war, so it's kind of a diplomatic war. Essentially, the Western Allies are trying to prevent World War II. The Germans and the Soviets are trying to essentially begin World War II to their advantage. And it's really fun because, you're laying these influence chits. You get so many of them. Germany's gets the most at the beginning of the game, but different factors are influenced in it. And it's really a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Origins of World War II, a game I need to play some more because it's just great. Really love it. Really a lot of fun. That's my number 28. It was my number 25, and that is from Avalon Hill. 27, at long last, is my favorite game from the Commands and Colors series. This is a game that I played on the recommendation of a friend of mine, a Polish friend of mine from Norway, who she told me it was her favorite Commands and Colors game, and I decided I was going to have to play it and review it, and I loved it. And this is Commands and Colors Napoleonics from GMT. Commands and Colors Napoleonics is great because, first of all, I love the history. I love the Napoleonic Wars. I'm fascinated by the Napoleonic Wars. So I love the history here and kind of the abstraction of the creation of the scenarios and the battles. But I love the engine. I love the three different sides of the board and how you advance and whatnot. The blocks. I like block war games. It's not a hidden information block war game. It's everything's out there, but it's really neat. And I like things in this one like how you can form squares. Your infantry can form a square, and if you form a square, you have a great defense against cavalry. Really enjoy it. This is Commands and Colors Napoleonics from GMT Games. That is my number 27. Did fall a little bit because I'm not playing it as much as I used to. It was my 22. My number 26 also fell a few points. This is a great open sandbox game that is in outer space. It's a game that was on Kickstarter a while back, and I invested in it, and the game is simply phenomenal. You're doing pickup and delivery stuff, you're upgrading your ship, and you are engaging in combat. There's some NPC players that are in the game. Really a lot of fun. This is Zia, Legends of a Drift System from Far Off Games. Now, Zia is, as I say, a lot of fun because there's so much you can do, so many places you can go. The map evolves differently every time you play it, and I like how you upgrade your ships and you're carrying stuff because there's kind of a Tetris aspect to it, and you actually can buy different ships, so you're not stuck with the same ship the whole game. And you're trying to collect fame points. There's different ways you get fame points. Upgrading your ship is one way. But, if you fly through a shield or you make certain kinds of combat rolls, there's all sorts of just fun and interesting things that happen in this game. And I really enjoy it a lot. It's a good space exploration sandbox game. This is Zia, Legends of a Drift System from Far Off Games. This is my number 26. It was my number 21. My number 25 is a game that did fall. It was, I believe, my 13. Yeah, it was my 13 last year. I played it not long before I did my list last year and really enjoyed it. I still really enjoy it. Played the kind of the new version of it just the other night for the first time and really enjoyed it as well. It did fall because I'm just not playing it as much, and I just haven't been thinking about it as much, but I really do like it because it kind of blends so many different tropes, genres, mechanics together that I really like it. It's a zombie game, but it doesn't really play like other zombie games out there. This is Dead of Winter. Dead of Winter is a great game that has hidden traitor mechanics, but it also kind of has just a real Euro-y feel to it, and almost not worker placement, but not even really area control, but those things are kind of hovering in the background, it seems like. But of course, you're trying to outlive these zombies. But the game is so much more than about the zombies. I don't even like to think of this game as a zombie game. Zombies are incidental, not essential to the character of this game. And I think that's very important. And I like it because you're trying to solve crises together. It's a lot like Battlestar Galactica, but kind of with a different theme and some different rules. The thing that makes this game shine is the crossroad system, where when you go to take your turn, the player to your right draws a card, and if the conditions on the board at any time during your turn match what's on their card, they read this kind of narrative story that gives you decisions and different ways the game can go. Great fun. Really enjoy Dead of Winter. That is from Plaid Hat Games, and that is my number 25, was my number 13. My number 24 is a game that is in the Tempest series of games, like Courtier, which I mentioned earlier. This one is Domire. Domire was the third game in the series, and Domire is a great area control, kind of victory point salad Euro game. It's probably, I'll have to look at the list, but it's probably my favorite, what I consider to be strict Euro game. There's really no Ameritrash in this at all. It's all pretty Euro game. And to me, it's tremendously fun. Domire is a game where, as you're playing it, you are desperate to get certain areas and get your cubes in certain places. And then when somebody does something that knocks you out or blocks you, you just want to strangle them. It's almost kind of like a Ticket to Ride in that sense, but it's so much more in-depth and intense and fun. I love Domire from the Tempest series of games from AEG. They just, to me, this is the best of the series. Courtier's really good, not far behind, but Domire blows me away. So that's Domire from AEG. That is my number 24. It was my number 27. My number 23 is a game that's gone up a few points this year, and it's a game that I haven't been playing a lot more, but I've been thinking about a lot more. In fact, I was thinking when I think of dungeon crawlers, it's probably my favorite. I like Star Wars Imperial Assault, but this one, I don't know. It's an all-on-one game, and it's a game that the way it works and the way it empowers the one is so cool. I am, of course, talking about Level 7 Omega Protocol. Forgot the name for a second. Level 7 Omega Protocol is awesome because you go into this game, you're one of the Marines going into this lab, and you're souped up. You've got weapons galore, and you've got tactics cards, and you've got all these things you can do, and it's so cool. You don't go into the game and gradually get stronger and gradually get stronger. You can still get other things throughout the game, but you go in there ready to fight. You're ready, and that's cool. But what makes this game, I think, stand head and shoulders above just about every other similar game that I played, and that is this mechanic where every time the Marines take an action, they have to spend an adrenaline token. And they give that adrenaline token to the alien player, who's the bad guy. And every adrenaline token he gets then, he gets to take an action, or he gets to spend those, rather, on different actions. So you're constantly, when you're the Marine, that's the tough decision of the game. You're constantly thinking to yourself, do I really want to take these actions? Because if I do, I'm empowering my enemy who's going to do bad things to me. And there's this constant negotiation. Do we really want you to do that? Do we want you to go that extra thing? Do we want you to take that extra shot if it means we've got more problems coming our way from the enemy? Brilliant game. Really a lot of fun. Good science fiction. My favorite dungeon crawl. That is Level 7 Omega Protocol. That's from Privateer Press. My 23 was my 26. Number 22, again, is a family of games. I'm going to lump into 22 all of the Legendary games. Now, not the Legendary Encounters games, just the Legendaries games. This is Legendary, the Marvel deck building game, Legendary Villains, and I'll even throw in Legendary Big Trouble in Little China into that. Now, technically, I'd made my list before I played Big Trouble in Little China, but what the hell, I'm thinking to throw it in there. The Legendary games are some of the greatest deck builders out there. I love them. And I love the superhero theme of Legendary and Legendary Villains. And they keep putting out so many good expansions and so many good new cards and rules and keywords. It's a game that evolves. It evolves constantly, and I love it. I love this game. Zach, I gave him last year for his birthday, I gave him Legendary, the Marvel game, and this year for his birthday, we gave him the Legendary Villains. So he's loving that, and he's collecting it now, and we both get a big kick out of it, as do many of our friends. So this is Legendary from Upper Deck. That is my 22, was my 17. Finally, my number 21. This is a game that fell only slightly. It was my number 20. This is Days of Wonder's Shadows over Camelot. Now, Shadows over Camelot is a fantastic game. It's a game that... it was not the first Hidden Trader game I played, but it was the first, I believe, that there was. I think this was the first Hidden Trader game that actually came out. And Shadows over Camelot is tremendously fun, obviously, being this high on the list. But it's a game where you are all knights of the realm, serving King Arthur, but one of you is a hidden traitor, a dirty, dirty Alger-Hiss traitor. And what's going to happen is, on your turn, you each take a good action that benefits everybody, but you also have to take an evil action. So people, every time you take an evil action, people are saying, well, why did you do that evil action? Why didn't you do that? Why did you do that? And the accusations fly. It's tremendously fun. There's a scenario where you can play it without the hidden traitor. Why would you want to? This game is absolutely brilliant. Played it a few years ago. It's, I say this occasionally about a game, but I mean, the experiences this game creates, it's why I play board games. Negotiation, paranoia, and a whole lot of fun. Shadows over Camelot is an absolute winner. So that is, from, again, Days of Wonder. That is my number 21. It was my number 20. Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting very close to the end of the list. I appreciate you joining us, but I'd like to hear what you have to say, so please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. Please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, today's viewer mail segment. That's right, we get sacks and sacks of letters every single day. They have to drive dump trucks up to our headquarters and deliver them. Well, I'm going to go ahead as a service to you, my friends, and read one of your letters. So here we go. Dear Cody, I'm a big fan of The Discriminating Gamer, but I have to tell you about what's going on in my personal life. My wife of 18 years recently left me. We had a great marriage. I loved her a lot. I thought she loved me. But as the years went by and work consumed more and more of my time, I just felt as though we were drifting apart. It's one of those times in your life where you wake up and you ask yourself, have I been wasting all of my time? I love her, Cody. I would do anything in the world to get her back. Absolutely anything. My question is, do you let your friends eat Cheetos when they play with your games? Hell no!